Good evening, booze. Happy wet and kind of coolish warm Tuesday. I don't know it's not cold, but it isn't warm either. But I'm your itchy host, Tombstones. I am having allergy issues yet again because I had to go play in the barn and get some hay on me. So I'm going to be going like this probably a lot. So just ignore me if you can. But I popped on a few minutes early just because we're supposed to have a big storm coming across the lake, and that generally means we're gonna lose power. So, I'm hoping to get through all of this before the big storm hits. So, because I never know. They say it's midnight, it could be 10 o'clock. So, I don't know because I don't know if Mother Nature understands that we sprung forward, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So good evening, guys, and I'm just gonna pop over into chat. I've been talking with Morgan Adventures, while I was waiting for some of my stuff to load up here, and so hello to Morgan Adventures. I already popped in, and we were kinda talking a little bit about my Chicago trip, and wow, I can't say enough about it. I I was blown away in New Orleans at the cemeteries, but to be so close to home and go to a cemetery that I've wanted to go to for a while. Why I haven't been there before, I don't know. Granted, I have family living in Chicago and it's scary sometimes, but um I finally did it. Finally went to Rosehill. This is there's 2, well, they're all beautiful, but there's the 2 big ones. There's Rose Hill and there's Graceland, not to be confused with Elvis and his Graceland, which is also actually a cemetery, come to think of, because he's buried there, and so yeah. Anyway, back on track. So those are the 2 big, really beautiful cemeteries, and I tell you what, when rich Chicago people die, they go all out for their monuments, and I was struck speechless several times. Like, I was in New Orleans. I don't think I ever stood in front of one of the tombs and just kind of almost lost it, like I did at Rose Hill. So, I didn't get to go live. It ended up not being a very warm day. Well, it wasn't cold, but it was windy, so I don't know if you guys know about Chicago, it really is the windy city, and that stuff just cuts right through you. So, it was windy, I we got there and I went to hook up my mic and found out that it needed a firmware update, which I could only do by logging into my laptop, which I did not bring because I didn't think I needed it. So I did not go live because I didn't wanna chance it with my with my phone microphone having all that wind disturbance and everything, so I didn't. I did catch a little clip for you guys if you've seen it with my little deer friends, and I know, I'm such a nerd, I'm such a geek. But I love animals, so when the deer showed up, you guys should just be happy I don't like squirrels that much because that would probably be about 90% of my footage would be, "Look, there's a squirrel." But I didn't do that to you, just the deer because they were so cute, especially that little baby. Oh my god, I love that little baby. Okay, I'm gonna pop into chat, which I said I was gonna do already. So hello, Ernie Birdie. I get my little tombstones. She always gives me flowers on my tombstone. I love it. And hello, Darlene. Darlene was in here dropping some links earlier. So if you guys are interested, we have adventures, One Take Adventures. We have his link up. So go like and subscribe. He's doing cemetery walkthroughs and he's doing a great job. I'm really interested because he's kinda in that same wheelhouse that, like, we're telling those stories of the people that are gonna get forgotten if we don't go to these little cemeteries and tell their stories and remind people that they live. Because they're not famous people, even though I do a famous person here and there, I also like to remember those just ordinary people too. So we have to remember them, and he's had some really good stories on there. So you guys definitely need to go check him out. You shouldn't be too far back in the chat. Just go click subscribe to him, catch some of his videos. Um, Fantastic. He's just growing and building kinda like we're building and growing, so, yeah, go give him a subscribe, so, yeah, and tune in. He's gonna be doing some lives from cemeteries too, just like I will be, so, and maybe we'll do a collab someday. We'll get him up here so we can go to Rosehill together. Because oh my god, I gotta get back to that cemetery, very soon because I missed, uh probably over half of what I wanted to see because I got so caught up in all the beautiful stuff. So, let me go back up here. My chat just scrolled away from me, so I said hello. Darlene, it's in the 80s. I wouldn't it was 71 here yesterday, so I am not gonna complain. Not gonna moan about it because it was so nice yesterday. I kinda contemplated Com ugh, I was contemplating taking the top off the Jeep, but it's a little too soon yet. I'm gonna wait till at least May because I don't know how to get that thing back on. Um, and oh, Morg, it looks like you're in the vertical. Yeah, I think Darlene is too. So you guys need to come over to the horizontal if you wanna talk to everybody. So and hello, adventures. And, let's see. Hello, Manuel. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you in here before, so welcome. Um, and we have Safi. It's my birthday today. I don't think I would love to sing happy birthday to you, but it will scare everybody. I will lose all my subscribers. 'Cause I cannot sing to save my life, but you know what, Safi? Happy birthday. How about that? Is that good? You're in good company because 'cause I'm a fellow Pisces. I just celebrated my birthday here over the weekend, so which is what did I ask my bestie to go do with me? I said, "You know what I wanna do for my birthday? I don't wanna go out to the bar. I don't want, like, cake because that just makes you fat. The bar makes you drunk. I don't need any of that." Um Go to a cemetery with me. So that's why we went to Chicago. It was for my birthday. So and I was trying to keep my birthday on the down low, but then Mia, she told everybody. So in OB's chat, so I couldn't actually, yeah, I couldn't hide it anymore. So I'm like, oh well, here we are. Another year older, maybe a little wiser. But I hope you're having a great day, Safi. Whatever you're doing, age is just a number. I can't think of some other wise things to tell you, but yeah, happy birthday. And hello, Erica. It's been a little bit. I think I've seen you in OBs. I think I've waved at you and said hello, but yeah, I've been really bad this week. I am so sorry. I hope I did not let you guys down. um, I had full intentions on going live Saturday, and that's why I skipped Thursday, and then my kid wanted to go out to dinner with me for my birthday on Sunday, so I was like, "You know, he's only I'm not gonna have him for too much longer at home, he's gonna be going off to college," so I was like, "You know what? No, I'm gonna I'm gonna hang out with my kid and do that instead. So, hopefully you guys all understood, but I did post some really cool shorts for you from my trip to Rosewood. They're kinda little teasers because I am gonna combine them into we're gonna do a video, and, just looking at photos of them because there's a couple of them in there that I've already talked about when I do my little segment on the cool headstones and memorials. Um I've just being there is I know this is gonna sound so nerdy. I mean, it really is like being in an open air museum, and all these monuments that you've seen and appreciated, like, on the internet or in books, and now you're standing there in front of you're right there. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. I know it. I fully embrace the weirdo-ness in me. So I did get video of, the big ones that I wanted to, even some of the ones that weren't, like, on the map that I still thought were really cool that I thought, "Well, I'm gonna get some photos of this because it was cool." Um, and Morg says he might have been to Ridgewood once. I don't know that one, but I'd have to look it up. I'm like I said, this is I have not been to too many. I think I've been to one little cemetery around Chicago, and but that's that's one of the reasons I'm doing this now, this channel, because it's gonna get me out there, and it's gonna get me to go to my favorite places, all the places that I've got on my list to go instead of sitting here looking at photos. um, I'm gonna go there instead. So I've scheduled a bunch of stuff, but it does kinda suck living in Michigan because it's winter 6 months out of the year. Well, maybe 5, but it's freaking cold. And, I'm not a marshmallow, but it's cold. It's cold here, guys, and yeah, this especially this winter, I was not gonna be stomping around, no frozen cemeteries, as much as I love you all, but oh, I couldn't do it. So I can give you guys, do I know that, Morg, I said that exact same thing. I said to one of my friends, I'm like, "I feel like a Disney princess because I got out the Jeep and I'm getting ready to walk over to this monument, and I look and I'm like, "Oh my god," like, these deer are just standing there looking at me, like, not afraid. I'm like, oh, hi, guys," and yeah, it was so cool, especially the little baby because when I zoomed in on the baby's, like, looking like, "Is she looking at me?" And I think I frightened her a little bit, so Alright, I'm gonna scroll down. Hello, Gene Gamble Jr. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a little bit, but I haven't been here. Only once since I or twice. Twice since, I don't know. I lose track, but hello, hon. And Ernie. He said hi, Ernie, but I'll say hi to you again. And hello, Gutters. I have been to the coolest cemeteries, Gutter. Oh my gosh. I even found one that wasn't mentioned. Like, it's not one of the typical ones people go to Chicago for, apparently. And I found the most beautiful statue. I was speechless. We just kind of pulled in because, Graceland, it closes at 4 o'clock on the weekends, which I thought was weird. At least on the weekends, you'd expect them to kinda stay open till 5 because they are tourist attractions. People do go there to see these memorials because they're a big deal. And then we realized we were kinda had to take a detour to go around once we realized that they were closed because it was right on the dot, 4 o'clock. And so we drove around and then I'm like, "Wait, what's that over there?" And then we saw this really cool statue, on a memorial marker, and I was like, "What what cemetery is that?" And we didn't even see it on the map. So, we drove back around and got in there because that one didn't close till 5, and there's 2 really cool headstones in there that I'm gonna show you a photo of one, and, I can't talk about it tonight because we are gonna do St. Louis number 1 and 2, which there's not much to 2 because, unfortunately, I could not get in there. Nobody can. So, and just really Darlene, I almost thought, Darlene, you said, "We all float down here." I thought you were making, a Stephen King's, It reference to right? Like, I don't know. But I'm excited. I'm gonna calm down. Yes. And, Rubicon is the one that I told that I felt like a Disney princess with all the deer because it was so cool. And yes, happy birthday because there seems to be a bunch of us. Yeah, it's crazy. Tombstones is over here getting out positions. You know what? You guys pick the position. If you wanna lay down and take it or you wanna stand up, you guys just do what you wanna do. I'm not gonna force you. But I think mostly everybody's laying down, it looks like, which, I mean, If you wanna be boring, just come over in the horizontal. It's fine. Nobody's gonna judge you. Maybe a little bit, but it's okay. Alright, I hope I'm not missing anyone. I'm looking. Alright. Oh, Darlene, you freaking rock. Look at that. Darlene's trying to get the top mod award, I'm telling you. Look at this. Um, is it more I decided not to stream all week. It wasn't a whole week. Well, yeah, I guess it was a whole week. Alright. Nah, nah, nah. I'm trying. I'm just one person, and yeah, alright, making sure I don't miss anybody. Um, yeah, gutters, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so excited to tell you guys about this. So, let me get down to okay, I'm down to the bottom. I think I got everybody. If I missed somebody, hello, I'm sorry. There's a lot over here going on. So, and there's a lot up here going on, like squirrels they're rabid and they're running around in my head tonight. But I wanna show you I'm gonna give you guys a little teaser. Um, I haven't done all the research on this particular memorial that I found. I will tell you where I found it. So if you want to look up the cemetery, I'm gonna pop her up here. Nope, not you. Why is that one up there? Remove that one. It says remove. Okay, there we go. These, I almost I almost had an aneurysm. I think that's the closest thing I can, come to with this thing is oh, wait, here, let me move over here a little bit. There we go. Um, let's see. Alright, there we go. So, I don't know anything about this one yet. But it is beautiful. Like I said, we were driving around, trying to find a way to get back to this cemetery, and then we saw I mean, it's in a glass case, right, in the cemetery, and it's called Wunder Cemetery, Wunder, and it's a Lutheran cemetery. I don't think there's a church there anymore. I didn't see one. Unfortunately, there's, like, 2 halves of the cemetery, and one half is pretty much closed off looking. I think maybe just the staff can get over there. I didn't see, like, a place for just the community to go. But, we saw this one from the road. It it's beautiful. I don't know what it's called. Bestie looked it up, and she said there's one other like it. And like many of these other ones, the other one is in Rome. So I'm going to do a little research. I'm going to find out who the people are that have the headstone or who were buried there, and then I'll bring you guys their stories. But I just wanted to give you a little teaser. So this is the kind of stuff I found this weekend. Um, I missed out on Graceland, but it wasn't really on the agenda anyway. We kind of thought maybe if we have some time, we'll just run in there and grab a couple videos of, there's a couple pretty famous ones in there, like Inez, the other girl in the glass box, which there's two, one at Rosehill and then one at Graceland. So, but that didn't work out. But I'm going back. It's just across the lake. It's not going hopefully, it's not going anywhere. I mean, that side of this is the better side of the lake is the one that I'm on, so so, and it's so pretty. I kinda think of it like as 2 sisters maybe commiserating in grief. One is kind of has her arms around the top half, and it has these lilies and roses that go down, like she's kinda holding them in her arm, and they sort of cascade down. The detail is it's crazy, and I love daisies. I mean, I don't want roses, I want daisies 'cause I don't know what they're so simple, they're so pretty, and there's daisies carved into this. So I was sitting there I took more photos, I think, of the flowers than I did of the 2 lovely ladies that are here. So this is Wunder Cemetery, and if you guys wanna look it up, I'm gonna be doing a little research on it. I'm gonna type it into chat here for you guys if anybody wants to Oops, I almost left the E. Yeah, there we go. So I put it into chat. So if anybody's curious about it, it is right next to Graceland, which is one of the other big cemeteries. Like I said, there's Rosehill, and Graceland. Um, Phenomenal. I mean, they all, like I said, when rich people die in Chicago, I mean, they go out with style. I gotta hand it to them. I just, yeah, I was blown away and wanted to show you the one because I've already done a video of her. I did a little short, and she'll be in the video when I cover Rose Hill here in a couple days. This is Maddie May, and yeah, she's at Rose Hill. I wish she was in a glass box because this one is gorgeous. Nobody seems to know who made it, who the sculptor was, or exactly where it was carved or anything like that. So I'm gonna see if I can maybe find out some stuff about it, but she's absolutely beautiful. I mean, her the chaise that she's laying there on, you can actually see the little tufts in like that cushion. There's little tassels and the detail on them is, I mean, it looks like she's just frozen there. And even her little shoes, the shoes on her feet have this adorable little heel on them, and they're so pretty. And, so I decided when I go to visit, I'm gonna leave a little token on some of these, memorials that kind of fit with me and the channel. So I'm not big on leaving flowers. I don't like artificial flowers at all because they just blow away and become trash. So I bought these little black hearts off of Amazon, and you can get a big bag of them. So I got those, and they worked out so well. I'm very happy with that choice, and so when I went to my favorite ones, I left them all a little small little black cart. I did that for the 2 dogs, the 2 greyhounds, which, oh my gosh, I cried at the greyhounds. So, God, I know, right? That's all I could think about, Gutters, was to I'm like, even if I could just clean her face off, but, oh, she's just beautiful, and she's perpetual care, so I'm not understanding why. Because if you see, because this is the cemetery where Frances Pierce and her daughter are buried, and their monument is this marble, and it's the mother holding the baby, which is pretty famous. I mean, it's beautiful. And it's taken very well, they've got it enclosed in glass, and I was just like, "Gosh, this one is just as phenomenal." I think this one should be under glass too, but she's not, and unfortunately, she's lost a hand too. I don't know where it went. Um, I think she had one. I don't think she was a one-handed woman, but yeah. And hello, Mia. I just saw you pop up in there. I almost missed you. But hello. And yeah, so these are 2 of my favorites from the 2 cemeteries I went to. Well, I can't say favorites because yeah, there were so many. Like I said, my head was exploding. I mean, I was like a kid in a candy store. I mean, I think Bestie got I think she was tired because I'm just like, "I got one more. I'm gonna go over here." And she's like, "Well, if you wanna get to the other cemetery," and I'm like, "There's just one more I have to see." And yeah, it was pretty, yeah, poor Bestie, but, and she was freezing, so she had to keep getting back in the Jeep to stay warm, but I didn't notice it so much until, yeah, until the very last headstone, and then I'm like, "Yeah." It's cold outside and it's windy. And then we had to drive through Chicago, and I hate my navigation system in the Jeep. I've gotta do something. It drove us right through Chicago on a Saturday night or Sunday. Su when did yeah, Sunday. So that's it. Yeah, it sucked. And yep, that was me. the morbid kid in the morbid candy store. But I would love to see her all cleaned up because I think she would just sparkle. She's not marble, I think she's like that soft stone, like that sandstone. I kinda touched it and I didn't want to because I was like, oh my god, what if I touch it and, like, part of it falls off or something?" But, um, it seems to be pretty sturdy. I mean, she died I forgot when she died, like 1893. So, she stood up pretty well considering, Chicago is not an easy place, to be left out in the elements for this long. So, she looks pretty cool, or looks pretty good considering. So, but that's Maddie May. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her Maggie, but alright. So, I'm gonna get around, Ah, Darlene, I don't know, this is my weekend for Jeep, ducks for my Jeep, I think, but thank you, Darlene. I will text you. Alright, I'm gonna pop up, so that's it with that, and I'm gonna just do there are so many I didn't realize how many photos I took of St. Louis number 1. I'm actually gonna make this big and make me tiny up in the corner. If I get in the way, I am going to take myself off because you guys don't need to see me because some of these turned out so we did when we went down to New Orleans, the very last night, we did the night tour at St. Louis number 1, and I've done day tours there before, and which are very cool, but they offer a night tour, so why not go on one? So we did. I thought it was gonna be super creepy. It really wasn't, and I was a little disappointed because it's supposed to be haunted, which I'll talk about at the end here, who's supposed to be haunting it, but I think every place in New Orleans is supposed to be haunted by somebody or something, and it's no different for St. Louis number 1, but I didn't find it creepy at all. I found it beautiful, and you could lock me in here at night, and I wouldn't be afraid at all. I would be very happy if somebody locked me in here. Now there's some cemeteries, we could lock me into Rosehill too. I'd be all night. I would have a blast in there. Who needs sleep when you can walk around and take night photos of all the monuments? So, Darlene, I don't think that one is granite. I think it's that really soft stone, like I think it's called sandstone. I'd have to look it up. I don't think anybody mentioned in the it seems like there's not a whole lot known about her memorial stone, but her husband commissioned it, and I'm gonna look and see if there's, like, maybe some sort of, evidence somewhere on it. I'm pretty good at finding those kind of things, so I'm gonna look. I'm gonna do some old-timey OSINT and see what there might be, like, from back in the day still. Um, alright, so here we go. I'm gonna talk about this is St. Louis Cemetery number 1. This is probably I'm gonna s this is one of the most this is the most famous one probably in New Orleans, or it is. And it's probably one of the more famous ones in the US as well. And we all know why. It's got these iconic above ground tombs. Uh, it's old. It's supposed to be haunted. It's right there in New Orleans and it's gorgeous. And it's been undergoing some restoration for I don't even know how long. I want to say at least a decade. Um, because they closed it off to the public. Gosh, I can't remember when. Um, I'm trying to think. It's been at least a decade. I can't remember when they did. But, so this is the sign right on the, um as you walk in, and let's see. I'm gonna pop let me see. I hope I got these slides in the right order, but here we go. So these are all at night, so I'm not that bad of a photographer really, but I am just holding my phone and taking pictures and trying to stay as still as possible. So, bear with me on these. I try to edit them because sometimes when it's night, you can't see how straight stuff is, but, here it is. This is one of the night shots, and I'm gonna tell you, it was dark. It was so dark that night. Clouds had started to roll in, and we were expecting, a rainstorm that night, so it was perfect. If there were ghosts there, this would have been the best night for it. Um, so this is, like I said, the iconic above ground crypts, and this one right here in the very front, that is one of the step tombs that I told you guys about before. Those are the ones that essentially they just put the coffin, the casket, and then they build up bricks around it, and then sometimes they'll go over the top of it, like, with plaster, like this one probably is, or sometimes they just leave it just bricks only, and there are some in here you'll see I think in my photos, you'll see that there's actually just kind of piles of bricks, which makes me think that those tombs step tombs have whatever was in there has completely disintegrated at this point, or they moved the remains at some time, but that's what this one that's closest to us is, so and I'm trying to look, I think the one furthest to the back there with the chick holding the staff, I think that's the Italia. I think that's yeah, I think that's, because I see the round on it, so and I'll show you a photo of her, and there we go. So, some of them turned out better than others, but all around oh, hello, Anne. I see you popped in. Um, yeah, Morg, for Rosehill, you can there's tours that go to I mean, just like the ones in New Orleans, you can do the Chicago cemetery tours too, which, if you don't know a lot about the cemeteries, I highly recommend. They'll tell you there was one going through when we were there, and yeah, they're good, and they're fun, and you'll get a lot of information. Excuse me. So, inside the cemetery, they've got it lit up. They've got all these little solar lights, and this is right there. It's in the city of New Orleans. And here's a few more. I'm gonna get to a place where I can give you guys a little bit more information, but, there's buildings all around it that have grown up over the years, and God, I would live in one of them. I would love to look down at these every night. I really wish I had a drone, but video footage is not allowed thanks to Hollywood. They ruined it for everybody back in the '70s. So, there's a movie called Easy Rider, and I'm gonna show you what occurred. If you've ever seen that movie, you'll know this monument, and what happened to it wasn't trick photography. It really actually happened. It was broken. And we're talking like an very old, expensive, you know, memorial that Hollywood was just like, "Ooh, whatever." So, yeah. So, I'll show you that one. Um, and there's all like I said, they're doing a lot of restoration work to, um, to the cemetery. It looks a lot. I did post on the end of these. I have my last daytime ones that I took, and you'll see even though it's dark in these, you'll see that it looks a little like you can see work has been done and that they're doing a really great job, especially on Marie Laveau's tomb. It looks pristine. Probably hasn't looked that good since they built it. Um, and yeah, you guys, love Marie Laveau. I think she's so cool. But yeah, she's supposed to walk around in here too. So, and it is so cool at night so you're walking down and you can see they're like little sidewalks, and it's a city of the dead is what they call them down in New Orleans. Well, even the one like, I think Charleston and Savannah both have similar types of cemeteries where they have these above ground crypts, and they're laid out almost like a little city, and if you see some of these tombs, they sorta look like little houses and cathedrals and churches, so they're yeah. So that's how they get their name, City of the Dead. There's no living residents anymore, but there may be a ghost or 2. So, um, and you can see there's one of the high rises just right there on the outside. That's downtown. It's a little blurry, but I also had to keep up with my tour. There was somebody coming behind us. She was, like, kind of shooing us to get us moving. Um, and let's see. There we go. Oh, I got Cena in there twice, but, um this is, Jared Johnson, who was a historian, and George I think it's Frebrez, don't shoot me, who was an artist, and as you can tell, somebody had a party at their tomb, which I thought was really cool. I'm not really sure what it's a stain, whatever that dark spot is, it's actually some kind of stain. I thought maybe it was spilled champagne. But, they didn't leave any for the tour, which I was kind of disappointed, but, yeah, there were plenty of hurricanes anyway, but yeah. And Work says, "The best way to accidentally watch Easy Rider for the first time is in college." No, don't do don't do that. Don't do drugs, guys. Drugs are bad. But, actually, that is how the statue got broke because I think it was Dennis Hopper was actually on drugs when he was up there on it, so, yeah. Um, you know what, Darlene? I think it could have been candle wax. I didn't get down to touch it because I thought, "Well, what if it's not candle wax? What if it's that thing that the grave wax?" I didn't want that on my hand, so I just left it. Yep, Big Dogma, if you want a party, I'll bring the party for you, unless I go before you, so then everybody bring the party to me. Cause yeah, I'll be there in spirit with you guys. But it is yeah, these are just the coolest things. I can't tell you I know. I'm gonna go on and on about them. Um, St. Louis number 1 is a little bit tight. It's not as well laid out on the lines as, say I'm gonna show you only the video that I could get for St. Louis number 2, which when you look at that one, it's a huge difference. You can look down the alleys and you can look all the way to the end, and each row, I mean, it is really set up um very well. Let's just say that, because 'cause I'm losing my train of thought on that. So let me get to a cool one. I have the daytime image of this one. This is my favorite one. Every time I go, brought my little I wish I had my little black stones when I was in New Orleans, because I woulda left one here. This little one down here to the right, that has the remains of 3 children of this couple that lived in New Orleans, and every time I've gone well, this will be my 3rd time that I've done the cemetery. I always kinda the tours always take you right past it. He didn't really talk about this one, our tour guide this time, I've looked them up, and I may do a little story on them because it's kinda heartbreaking. Yeah, this poor, mother and father, they lost all 3 of their children at slightly different ages from infancy, and I think the oldest one got to be about 5, which in New Orleans, during that time period, they had so many diseases, but I think I'm gonna leave it right here on these guys as talk a little bit I'll give you a little backstory I'll give you the history on St. Louis number 1. So, this started out in 1789, so it was a really long time ago, and it is the oldest surviving cemetery in New Orleans. And as you can guess, it's a pretty historic burial ground, and it wasn't originally meant to be a permanent burial ground. It was meant to kind of serve a purpose for a short period of time until they could move the cemetery out further from town. But like I said, we're talking about the little children that were lost. Cholera, smallpox, typhus, I mean, all sorts of diseases came through, and it's kinda shocking that any of them ever survived, because it was just rough down there. Um, and it's had a few disasters. 1788, New Orleans had, a big fire, devastating, and they also had an epidemic at the same time. So, I can't remember if they said it might have been cholera, I think it was, and it went through the city. So, at that time, the only cemetery they had was one on St. Peter's Street, and it was already pretty much filled up to capacity. So, they had to quickly put up St. Louis number 1 to have a place for these bodies to go. And because the doctors back in this back in their days, they thought, "Hey, these dead bodies, we can't have them just, like, sitting around and stuff because" well, I mean, there's some truth to that. You don't want them sitting around, but, they thought the dead bodies spread the disease. So, they wanted to get them quickly entombed, taken care of, and they hoped that would stop the spread of the disease, whatever was going on at the time. So the government, um, they started the new burial grounds, and this was supposed to be outside the city limits at one time, but it is no longer. It is actually part of the city. Um, let's see. I'm gonna skip through some of this stuff here, but oh, let me see. I see you guys in chat. Hello, Tia. Just say you're the cool Ryan, right? I think that's what I'll do. I'll just say the cool Ryan from now on. Um, and Big Dogma, this is in New Orleans. So this is St. Louis number 1. And yeah, the pictures are a little fuzzy because this was from my night tour. And Darlene, like, yeah, dead bodies. Let's get them. Let's take care of them. Let's not leave them. Yeah, let's not leave them sitting anything like that. Let's just get them into these. And I've talked about these crypts before. These are oven tombs, and that's not my word for them. That is what they're called. So it sounds a little morbid, but that is exactly what they do. Within a year inside one of these, with the humidity, the heat down in New Orleans, within a year, there's nothing but bones that are left. And even the bones that are left are pretty much like your big ones. So they're little crematoriums. And in a city like New Orleans where there's not a whole lot of places to go with, right? Like it's kind of clustered right there and they have their high water table. So when it comes to expanding the cemetery, the only way to expand it is to go further out of the city. But for New Orleans, this was perfect. This These types of cemeteries were taken from the French and the Spanish because that is who originally colonized New Orleans, first with the French and then the Spanish took over. And it was very effective because, like I said, within a year, you could put another person inside one of these, and you could continue to use the same tomb for generations. So for years and years and years, your family is taken care of essentially, and you're all gonna go to the same place. Well, a at least here you are. I don't know where they're going in the afterlife, but that's up to them. So, um, let me see what else I got in my little notes here. And, there's a bunch of boring stuff here, but, oh, let me go down. So, when the Americans with the Louisiana Purchase, they came into control of New Orleans, suddenly there was this weird thing called, Protestants. Everybody, pretty much at that time was Catholic in New Orleans, like, that's pretty much what everybody was. There wasn't a whole lot of other, religions being practiced down there, so when the Americans came in, you have a lot of Protestants, and they're like, "Uh-oh, what are we gonna do?" Um, they did add a little section, and when I say little, it's a very small section, um, onto St. Louis number 1 here, and I'll show you some photos of that, and that was in, let's see, 1805 they added that, and up until 1822, and then finally the Protestants, they got their own cemetery. So and oh, yeah, I know. There's so much good food. I don't know, going from food to cemeteries probably, yeah. But, hey, I joke, they look like big pizza ovens, some of them do, especially the big brick ones, and I think they're just cool as heck because most of them are brick, as you can tell from the bigger one of these 2 here. You can see where some of that plaster has fallen off, and you can see the bricks, so I actually went down a little bit of a rabbit hole, like, there's a gentleman that has a blog that went he explains exactly how to make these. He restores them and he puts in new ones, and I had to stop reading because I don't think we need all that information, but suffice it to say, y you're gonna yeah, this is probably not a bad way to go. So, this would be my choice, and I think if I could get one of these in my backyard, I might do it, but I'm pretty sure they won't let me. And yeah, Big Dogma, I went at night, but it wasn't even creepy. I didn't see one ghost or anything, and I was so uh, for sure I'd get at least a little tap on my shoulder or something, but yeah, nothing, nothing. Um, I did go to the voodoo shops, and I got a book too, so yeah. So nobody mess with me. 'Cause I totally will make a voodoo doll of you. Just putting that out there. I don't want to, but I might have to. And, Adventure says they look like just like some ovens I've seen where they cook a whole hog in them at one time. Well, you could do that in these too. So, those big ones. Alright, let me move on to the couple more slides here. Um There we go. There's some here, and you can see, the doors. Yeah, we'll call it the entrance to the little tomb. They'll be sealed up with plaster well, usually with brick, again, and they'll put the plaster over it, and then they'll put a slab. Sometimes it's marble. It looks like marble. Maybe they use other things too, but, yeah, and then it'll have who's in the tomb. So that's kinda like your headstone. And this one over here on the right is kinda hanging off, but, like I said, it looks a lot better than the last time I was in here, like, a whole lot better. And it's a little fuzzy, but this is what I was kind of, talking about, like, there's just a pile of bricks here, and I don't know if that's, like, maybe a steps why this is a tongue twister, a step tomb. Or it could just be some leftover bricks, maybe they, like, repaired one of the crypts or something, but, yeah, it kinda just looks like one of them just kind of fell apart. Um, so let me keep going here, and like I said, these photos are crooked because some of them I couldn't see. It was dark, it really was dark, and you can see they had the little lights all set up, it's so pretty. Let's see, and there's New Orleans, there's the city in the background. I thought that was so cool. And it's really odd. It's a very busy neighborhood. The French Quarter is, like, just across the street. You've got downtown there, people there's a big busy gas station, like, right across the street from the cemetery, but you're back in it they insulate you. You can't hear any of that noise. So, you almost go back in time, you're, like, in a different world, and it's so yeah, I know people think cemetery tours are weird, but, I mean, they're not as cool as us. We know they're cool. So, I highly recommend them. I didn't feel frightened at all, um, but, yeah, I didn't feel frightened at all. I typically don't, and this is one of the restored tombs, and this thing is gorgeous. I mean, it's got all new plaster, it's got fresh whitewash on it, and it looks beautiful, and you can see, like, this is one of the tombs, you see the X's on it here? There's 3 X's, well, there's several of them on there. This is one that has been mistaken for Marie Laveau's tomb, but it is not her tomb, and I'll show you hers, but there's several of them people thought were hers, but ended up not being. And let me go to one, I'll get you. Okay, now I'm up to the Protestants, alright, so uh-oh, troubles here. So, I was telling you about the Protestant invasion of New Orleans, and this one here on the right is, Eliza's grave, and this is in the Protestant section, and you can see how small it is. There's her tomb, there's that little green space, and then it goes a little bit this way, but it's not too terribly big. A lot of the burials that were here in the Protestant section have, since been moved. When they got their own cemetery on Girard Street, it's Girard, yeah, uh, they did disinter a lot of them and take them on over there, but several of them remained, so here we are, and this is Eliza, and this is beautiful. If you can see, there's a man, he's grieving at the foot of the bed, and it's a woman that has died in the bed, and over the top of her is hovering an angel, and it's just beautiful, and I think it's on all 4 sides, if I remember right, so, um yeah, and Dogma, that's part of the problem over in area can be a little sketchy. It's not safe. I wouldn't I feel safe in the cemetery. I don't feel safe on the other side of it. So even though the police are right across the like right there, yeah, I'm not walking around out here at night. So if you do go, still be safe. Know where you're going and get out when you're done, get back to your hotel. Just don't hang around there. And here's more of the Protestant. This is the Protestant section. This here is, this tall one with the blue and white. That is a marker for the Battle of New Orleans. That was some of the men that were lost there. And I think it's just a memorial. I don't know if any of them were actually buried here, but okay. So this is for Eliza Lewis, and this man so her husband was William Claiborne, and he was the first American governor of Louisiana, and he he designed this for his wife. She's buried there. I think he went on to marry a couple more times, so but, still, I thought it was very pretty. So, here we go. Here's some more. Let me see. I got a list of some of the famous people that are well, sort of famous. Let's see. In 1975, St. Louis number 1 was added to the National Register of Historic Places, and in 2008, the cemetery was also included on the African American Heritage Trail in Indiana, and this recognition honors many important African American figures that are buried here and, recognizes the cemetery's role in the city's cultural history. And I had to borrow that from I didn't write that. So, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna leave Marie to last because I put her slides last, and same with this one. So, one of the more famous people, he's not even in here yet, but he will be apparently someday. Um, I think I'm getting close to his, if I'm not mistaken. But so I'll just pop through some of these here. Let's see what you guys said. Go over to chat. All right, I'm gonna scroll down. Um, yeah, Rubicon, when I've this the gentleman's blog that I found about restoration work on these tombs and still building new tombs, like he still makes them in the old style just like this. Um it's amazing, like, how he was talking about how they build them. I mean, he lost me. I'm not a builder, so I'm not gonna build one. Maybe I will. Maybe I can build one. Who knows? Um, yeah. So, he was talking about how they build them and how he restores them, and it was fascinating. So, it was kinda nice to see that there is somebody still around that can actually take care of these and who could actually make more if I guess if somebody wanted to. And let me pop down. I know I'm getting close to this thing. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh, we gotta talk about these guys on the side here. So, what happened if you had a tomb and you already had somebody in it? Say grandma died, but it had only been, like, a couple months since grandma passed away, and now grandpa's gone. Um, you can't open that tomb yet. You gotta wait, 1 year, 1 day, and that 1 day is only added on, um, out of respect for the family so that their year of mourning is officially over, and then you wait till the next day, and then that's when the next person can go in. So, if you have a family tomb and somebody passes away while somebody is still occupying that tomb, they've gotta go somewhere. And these are wall crypts. Yeah, I got that out right. And this is where sort of like think of it like as a waiting area. So you're gonna go in here, you're still gonna the same process still happens to you that would happen in your family tomb, except for when your year and 1 day comes up, all of your stuff gets pulled out and then it goes into your family vault. So you're just kinda temporarily hanging out over here on the wall. So all of these walls are now apparently, I guess they're all closed up now, so you that's not a practice that they do any longer, at least here, at St. Louis number 1. It is still an active cemetery. There are still families that have their family tombs here. There's still yeah, and like I said, it's still active because somebody bought a plot here, um, and built a really ugly thing on it. It's not actually, it's kinda cool. So here's a long view of these, wall crypts, and these work just like the other ones, and these really do look like pizza ovens. I'm gonna go here's another one. At some point oh, no, did I get to well, okay, I'm gonna skip him. I'm gonna talk about this gentleman here real quick. Boom, boom, boom. This is where is it? He has a really cool story, but I can't tell it the way our tour guide did, but this is Bernard, um, and I'm gonna think before I try to pronounce this. I think it's Dumargenet, and he was a wealthy Creole aristocrat and politician, and he helped, develop the Faubourg whatever. He helped develop this neighborhood, and he is also credited with introducing the game of craps to the United States. Bernard was apparently quite, he was a little bit of a bad boy of his era. His family, got a little tired of his antics in New Orleans because by the age of 13, he was being brought home by the police. He was up to trouble. He was hanging out with, ladies of ill repute and gambling, all sorts of things that 13-year-old boys should not be doing, and his family sent him off to France, which apparently he learned some new things in France because he brought craps back. Not crabs, craps. So and he went on, I think he wrote some kind of something, um, I can't think of it. I've lost it. It was in my head there for, like, 2 seconds, and it's gone. Um But, yeah, he's a pretty big deal for Louisiana, but the cool thing is, he didn't grow up being a good little boy, yeah, he was pretty colorful. He lived up till, like, I think 80 his late 80s. So, apparently, wild women, wine, whatever, that was Bernard, and he had a great time with life, and he lived a long time. So yeah, Darlene, those wall crypts are just a holding place, but you stay there for your entire year in 1 day. Um, we still had to pay um, I think they do. I'm not sure, you know what? I know that question came up and now I can't remember, I think you're just allowed to use that space. If there's an open one, I think you're allowed to use it, but I'd have to check and make sure, that's true. Because seems to me the Catholic Church would wanna at least get a couple bucks off of you. So, yeah, if your crypt was filled up. And it says right on here, he participated in framing the 1st and 2nd constitutions of Louisiana. There you go. I knew he did something. Here we go. There's another giant brick one, and you can see there's what's yeah, there's a bunch. I don't know if this is a family vault or if this is, they have what they call society vaults, and this is if you are a member of a certain society, you pay your dues, your membership, and then you pay into, um like a fund, and then when you pass away, you can go in here, and then when your year and a day is up, the rest of your remains will go down below. I'll talk a little bit about the below part, but yeah, you'll be interred with everyone else in your society. So, like, the one I can think of is, like, here in Michigan, we have the Polish Society, so, like, if you were a member, you paid your dues, all that good stuff, you had access to this, so this is where you could go. Alright, where is that stinking pyramid? I said, I have a lot. Here's the crypts, step tombs, and this is a monster. It really is as big as it looks. I don't know, I wanna know how they got stuff way up here. I didn't get to get my question answered, but I don't know how they did that back in, like, long time ago before they had, like, lifts and things like that, but, I'm sure they must have managed it. Alright. I'm trying to get to the one where I can there's one that's kinda starting to fall in a little bit. Um, did I not put I don't think I think I only put the one no, put that ugly tomb in here. Alright. Maybe it's further down. Um, let's see. And Gutter says, "Okay, note to self, you either die together or go to the waiting room and wait your turn." Yeah, essentially. So if too many of you die all at the same time and well, if your family's rich, like, this is the Laveau tomb. Well, this is her one of her son's tombs, but this is where Marie Laveau, this is where she is supposed to be entombed. You can see there's 3 spots. So, 3 people could go in there at once, so you don't have to worry about, hanging out on the fence until you can be put in here. Now, underneath these tombs, so you've got your 3 levels there, but underneath is like a little basement area, and it's called a caveau. And really, I just think of it as like a little cave or a basement, and I think it's like French for little space or something like that. But that is where all the remains go. So, like, your ashes, all of that stuff goes in this little caveau that's underneath, um, all of this. So you and your family, there could be hundreds of your family members. If they've had this, say, since this cemetery's been in use, you could, realistically probably have hundreds of your family members all in here. Now, are all of their names gonna be listed on the outside of the tomb? Maybe not, depending on the family's finances at the time, and maybe at the time when you passed away, you weren't, like, a favorite in the family, so you might not have got your name inscribed, on the front of the tomb. You got a burial, but you didn't get recognized. So even though some of them look like, "Oh, hey, there's only 1 name on here," there could be many, many, many burials in there. So, yeah, so don't take that because I always thought I was like, "Wow, this big tomb for 1 person," but that's not the case apparently. So that was new to me, and I thought that was really cool that, yeah, and that is one of the reasons New Orleans loved this type of cemetery is because they didn't have to keep building more cemeteries. There was so much room, right? Like 100 family members in one of these little vaults. Well, actually, this one might even be able to do more than that. And if you think about it, all that underneath, it's just ashes. So, and it's going to absorb into the ground underneath after a while, it's not, it's actually a pretty damn good idea. So, give it to the French and the Spanish for, bringing this idea here. It would be great if we'd have more places people I mean, we maybe wouldn't have all these cemeteries, that are being found underneath schools and things if we just had something like this going on. So, yeah. Yeah, they do big pizza ovens. All right, I'm gonna go down, and Big Dogma says, "Yeah, at 13, dude had game." Bernard was apparently quite the dude. Yeah, he was the dude of I think it was 17 something, but yeah, I like the way our tour guide he did a much better way of telling the story, and he was a very colorful figure, so I thought it was pretty cool, and that he was living such a wild life already at 13, and he still lived to be, like, in his late 80s. That's pretty decent, especially with all the stuff going around in New Orleans that he didn't catch something. Um, and yeah, and space is limited, so but once that year and a day's up, there you go, somebody else can go in there, so I think it's a really cool concept, I like it. And yeah, Bernard was the coolest kid in 8th grade. I don't even know if he might not have been going to school by then, but yeah, alright, I'm gonna go down and hello, old man builds, yeah, bag you up, and that's essentially what they do, they kinda there's this little rake device that goes in, and it goes from the back, and they pull it forward, and that gets all of your stuff, all your remains, and they go in a little bag, and then they put you down in the caveau, which is underneath there, so, um Darlene says, "My DNA is my dues." Yeah. Um, yeah, if your family owns one of these, if I think you can go I don't know what if you know somebody down there, Darlene, check it out. You might be able to go in one of these. So, I'm gonna look and see if I have any family down there. So, I would this would be cool. Um, and gutters, yeah, everybody. Yeah, you're all going down below one way or the other. Bags of people. Yeah, pretty much. But hey, you're dead anyway. What right? What's yeah. Not gonna hurt anything once you're dead. Um, all right. If I took a shot for every time we said pizza oven tonight, I'd already be a little I'd be drunk already. But yeah. What's up? Um, let's see. So yeah, there's only one new vault or crypt that's been built here. I'll show you his. I think I've already talked about him before on here, but, yeah, I don't think I'm ever eating pizza in New Orleans again either, Gutters, I'm with you. I would etch my name myself on my dying day, with there the chisel and doing that, yeah. I just like how, like our tour guide said, like, "Yeah, you know, only the favorite people in the family got their names on the slab," and I was like, it's kinda not nice. I wouldn't get my name on my family tomb because I'm the redheaded stepchild, so I definitely, they just I don't know, they probably just set me on fire in the backyard and then throw me down below, so, yeah, oh, yeah. Let's see. Oh, god. You know, I never thought of that now. With people with hip replacements and things like that, but well, they wouldn't have had it back in Marie's time, but yeah, now but wonder what they do. Y maybe they just throw them under the they're just gonna throw them all under there. Let's just leave it at that, yeah. Woohoo! Shots for everybody. See, I have a knee. I have a fake knee now, so, I'm pretty proud of it. I feel like the bionic woman. Alright, so this is Marie Laveau. I've talked about her before, and she I'm sorry, I don't my throat is so itchy. These dang rainy days. Alright, here we go. So, Marie Laveau, obviously, she is said to haunt the cemetery as well, and she's probably the most famous burial that is associated with the cemetery, and she is a pretty legendary figure in New Orleans. She was born 1801. Her father was a very wealthy white man, so she is of mixed race, and because her father was very wealthy, she had some benefits to that. She was educated, she was a very intelligent woman, and initially, she trained as a hairdresser. So, how did our tour guide put it? So, as a hairdresser, where do all the ladies go? Like, you know, think about this. You go get your hair done, gossip, right? So, when you're doing a woman's hair, you're, oh, how's your life, sweetheart? Right? And then she's doing her hair and making her pretty, and you build a relationship with your stylist, and your stylist probably knows more about you than, kinda like your bartender. You're gonna tell them things that you might not tell anybody else. Well, this kinda gave Marie an advantage because all these rich ladies that she would do their hair, she knew stuff about them. So, with this, a lot of them wouldn't mess with her. So, she had this special place in the society, like, you weren't gonna mess with Marie. Um, but she also was an herbalist, she was a spiritual practitioner, and she was a community leader. And with her spiritual work, she is known for blending the Catholic traditions with not African and Caribbean practices. And at some point I wanna talk about voodoo because I think kinda gets everybody thinks you're getting hexed and, it's bad juju, all of that, but, actually voodoo isn't what everybody thinks it is, so it's not technically a bad thing, I guess. It's not like black magic. Well, I'll leave it at that. So lots of people came to her for help. The wealthy whites would come to her, everyone. And they wanted protection spells, healing spells, love spells, because that was probably the number one. And they even wanted assistance with their court cases. So if they had something going on with the law, they came to Marie to help fix that. And she was just a huge influence. Apparently, she had a pet snake, like this big boa constrictor, and she would walk around with it on her neck. Now, I looked it up because I thought, no, that's some BS, right? Like that they've talked about. It just kind of kept snowballing. Like maybe she had a little snake and now suddenly it's this giant boa constrictor, but she really did have one. So I thought it was pretty cool. Um, She unlike some of the other people I've talked about from New Orleans, she seems to have a very good reputation. Like I said, she was very influential. I think she kept some of the white ladies on their toes because, they probably told her stuff that, like, they were like, "Yeah, you know what? Let Marie do what she wants to do." So, she did have, a cou what, 2 or I think she was married 3 times. She had a few kids. One of her husbands kind of, sorta came up missing, but hey, this is like the early 1800s. He could have got on a ship that got sank or something. It doesn't have to be her fault. Doesn't mean she did anything to him. Um, and so now I'm gonna talk about the 3 X ritual, not have anything to do with her 3 X's, but and when I showed you that photo of the tomb that had the 3 X's, so people visitors would come to the tomb, the ones that they thought were Marie's. They would come and this is a famous ritual. So you would draw 3 X's on the side of the tomb, and then you would knock on the stone. You'd make a wish, and you would return later and put a circle around the X's if your wish came true. And unfortunately, this isn't so great for the tombs. So for the ones that they were mistaken for Marie's tomb and for her actual tomb, it did cause a lot of damage. This is not allowed. Another reason this cemetery is locked up, other than the Dennis Hopper incident where he broke the hand off Italia because he was high. But yeah, so apparently people I mean, they say coming to the grave, doing the 3 X's, it works. So, but you can't do it. You'll probably go to jail if you were to try it, but people still do come and leave. If you look here at the bottom, there still are people leave little offerings down here. And now this big dude standing over here to the left, um, I wanted to kind of smack him a little bit because, like, so don't touch these things. Just keep your hands off the tombs. Just don't touch them. And that was our first, I think that was one of the first things they told us, like, don't lean on them, don't accidentally put your hand on them, anything like that, right? Just don't touch the damn things. They're old, they're brittle. This just got all beautiful. And as we're walking away, he goes over and I don't know what he put on. He put a coin of some type. I don't know if he put a penny or quarter or whatever it was, but he reaches over and he puts one on that top shelf there. And yeah, which was what we were told not to do. Like, don't touch it. Like, don't touch the damn thing. And then he goes ahead and does it. So, but okay. And hello, equal. Um, and Darlene, I think a lot of it was the X's were made in lipstick. And, especially if you were probably asking for love, I would think you'd use lipstick too. So, I did notice some of the spots, and I think I included that slide in the ones from my previous trip. You can see, like, kind of that greasy stain on it, so they probably did use lipstick. I mean, I would, but I wouldn't. I mean, if I was going to, that's what I'd use, but I would not do it because just don't. But yeah, you can see down below, they've got these, people left their little things down there. You can see them a little clearer. There's a couple prayer candles. Um, now this, Glampion, this is one of I think this is one of her grandchildren, if I'm not mistaken, but it is called the Glampion tomb, and she wasn't marked, like, it was not marked for her to be in there only because, uh right, they didn't want people knowing where exactly she was, which probably led to them going around and being mistaken about which tomb she was in. But she is interred here with a couple of her daughters, I think 2 of her daughters. Obviously her some grandchildren are also in here. There's a lot of family members in this particular tomb, but I thought it was so pretty how they have what are those? Are those luminaries? Is that what the little bag with the sand and the light? But, I thought it was so pretty how they had it lit up. Um, yeah, and it looks so nice now. So and here's um William Paris was I think that was her first husband. I think he might have been the one that went, who didn't come back from wherever he went. And then there's Glampion down here, and he was a captain, I think. So, yeah. Alright. Here's the daytime, and I'm gonna get to this other one. Alright, I'm gonna keep going down. Yeah, we do need voodoo. I think we all need a little voodoo in our life, right? So she passed in bum, bum, bum. She died 1881, and she was born in 1801 or thereabouts. It may be a little off because I don't think they had an exact record for her. But yeah, she lived a good long life. So, um, and she was well respected. I've always liked her story, especially the big snake thing, especially now that I found out that it's like she really did. I don't like snakes, but hey, if you can walk around with something like that on you, dude, you're badass. I think that's cool. You get a big old gold star from me. I think that's cool. Um, And Darlene says, "Yeah, I think that was the other part too, you have to leave something behind too, and I don't now I got this information right off of the St. Louis Cemetery, um, website, and it is a Catholic. It is owned by the diocese, so maybe they didn't want, maybe they didn't say everything about it, but yeah, I thought too that you had to leave, people would leave, like, a little token behind. I think the big thing isn't it like, rum? Isn't that one of the I think that's, like, one of the popular things to leave behind for, especially voodoo, but, who doesn't like a little rum, right? Um, Bye, Gutters. Thanks for stopping by. Alright, I'm gonna go down, and hello, Equal. Welcome. We're making pizza and taking shots of rum, so welcome. And thank you, Big Dogma. I'm glad you had a good time. Alright, so I'm gonna go down and Equal said, "Yeah, hey, I don't hey, back in those days, I mean, it seemed like they went through wives and husbands, like, it just kinda yeah, it's just the times. It's New Orleans. Your husband dies of cholera or smallpox, whatever, right? You gotta get another one." And I think her first husband was a little bit of a I don't know. let's not speak ill of the dead because I don't know, but he did reportedly, he was not the nicest of men, or maybe that was her. I don't know. I think she had 2 not so great husbands, so, alright. Alright. And oh my god, a big old bear, I don't know. I think I want a pet gator now. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna pop these up. So this is what it looks like during the day. It looks so pretty and so nice, right? It still is. I think it's pretty at night too. Um, this one with the child on top, this I don't know, I looked for it, but I think they did not allow us in this section this time around. So, because I wanted to get a night photo of her, like, up against, like, the night sky, but, our little tour did not go past there. I kinda peeked around a corner, and we already got in trouble, like, a couple times, so I wasn't pushing it. Well, not really in trouble, but we just kept getting talked to about going off the tour path, so hello, Tiff, and welcome. We're playing Voodoo. Alright, so this big ol' thing, this is I don't know why I did not put the I've got night photos of Nick Cage's pyramid tomb. Um, so in 2010, Nick Cage so at one time, right where this his tomb is, there was actually a little green space, like, tiny little green space, and there was, like I think they set it like a couple little trees and a bench. And the trees died, and they uprooted them, and Nick Cage came in with a lot of money, and ooh, I hear the storms coming in, shoot, better get moving here. He came in with a lot of money, and he bought this plot, and he did I know we look at it, and I it seems kinda weird, a pyramid, but in New Orleans, like I showed you before at, Metairie Cemetery, there's Egyptian revival was and apparently still is a huge thing in New Orleans. So, really, it's not that out of place because there is another pyramid tomb in the same cemetery now. I couldn't get a very good photo of it because it's, like, blocked. It didn't work out. I tried, like, 12 different times to get photos of it. On the front of it, it says Omnia ab uno, which means everything from one, or roughly, that's what it means. Um, everybody thinks this is, I think it comes from Nick Cage doing that movie, National Treasure. I think it kinda went to his head a little bit, but, um, the last time I went here, they said this, was for sale. But apparently it is not for sale. So I hate to disappoint anybody who was getting ready to put a bid in on it. It's not for sale. And there's only space for 1 in this big ol' pyramid. So only Nick's gonna be in here, which probably nobody wants to be in there with. Just I don't know. He seems like a nice guy, maybe, I don't know. But he does occasionally come and visit his tomb. Our tour guide said one day he was doing whatever he does at the cemetery and was walking around, and here came Nick Cage in with, like, security, and he just goes over and he looks at it, and then he leaves, and I'm like, "That's a little weird," but he is a little weird. So but out of all the all these crumbling and restored um, monuments, his really stands out. Everybody wants to see this one. It's not even that old, but yeah, I did take pictures of it. I'll have to. I don't know why I didn't put the night pictures of it. I'll find them and I'll show you guys on the next stream because they turned out really cool. Because they had some lights and such on the front of it, and it was glowing and it looked really pretty. It actually looked a lot older at night, like, it kinda fit in a little bit more. Um, yeah, so I'll find that. So that's where Nick Cage is gonna be buried, even though no one in New Orleans likes him, and I know, TF, you think he's a god, but people in New Orleans do not. Yeah. Though our tour guide seemed very excited about being run into him, but, eh, um, alright. So, one other famous interment here is a gentleman by the name of Homer Plessy, and he is a civil rights pioneer. And I didn't know his story before, and so I'm kinda glad that I learned it. And Plessy became, a f he became famous because of a very hopefully I don't go, "Boop." I might lose power here, guys. Oh my goodness, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there was a very famous legal case that was called Plessy versus Ferguson, and this was in 1892. Plessy, he intentionally sat in a whites-only train car in Louisiana, and he planned to do this because he wanted to challenge segregation laws. So, 1892, so well before Rosa Parks. Um he was arrested, and eventually his case got to the US Supreme Court, and in 1896, the court ruled against him, but established the doctrine separate but equal, which legalized wait, not wait, see, established the doctrine of separate but equal, which legalized racial segregation. So he tried to do something and it didn't work. And this ruling remained in place for till 1954, and that is when Brown versus the Board of Education changed that. So Homer Plessy is remembered now as an early civil rights pioneer and yeah, which he existed long before any of the modern civil rights leaders, long before Rosa Parks. Other notable burials, I told you about Cole Bernard. There's a gentleman by the name of Paul Morphy. He was apparently one of the greatest chess players of the 19th century. Um, he was a chess prodigy and became an international championship while he was still a teenager. And then there is, Etienne de Boer, and he was a New Orleans mayor and a plantation owner who is credited with creating the first successful process for producing granulated sugar in Louisiana. That's it. All right, let me show you the daytime pictures here. Hello, Dean. How you doing? Uh, guys, be nice to Dean, don't pick on him. So this is what it looks like in the day. Um, yeah, it's beautiful. I think I've showed you guys most of these before. So this is Italia. Um, see where her hand is missing? Dennis Hopper did that because in the movie Easy Rider, he actually climbs up on here. So I think that was I can't remember 1970 something. 73 or 74 or something like that. I don't know. Um, oh, I'm sorry, Dean, that you have to go to Alabama. But at least you're out of Omaha now, right? Alright, so, yeah, Dennis Hopper in the scene, he's up in sitting up there on her lap, and he grabs her hand and breaks it off, and as you can see, they never put it back on. So, after that, Hollywood was never allowed to film anything else in here, which probably is a good thing, but also it kinda ruins it for everybody else because yeah. Yeah, Dennis Hopper, he broke her. And apparently he was, really high at the time, like, real well, he I don't know, I guess they thought because, he was supposed to be that way in the script for the part, the person he was playing was supposed to be high, so I guess he just thought, "Well, hey, why act when you can be?" And yeah. So, he broke it, ruining it for everybody. I know, I liked Dennis Hopper up until I learned that. Why look how beautiful she is, and then he bro she's going around like I can't even like this. That's horrible. Like, where's she has no fingers. But this is a massive, just massive. So, as you can probably guess, so Italia, this is the Italian Society in New Orleans, and this is all their little all not little, all their crypts are, like, on the you can kinda start to see them. They go all the way around the outside of this, and it's really cool. I thought they coulda fixed it I'm like, "Come on, some super glue or something, right?" And Dean's like, "Yeah, I think a lot of places are better." Well, Omaha's not that bad. I won't pick on it. Um, and I am not he ca you're being blasphemous by saying he's like Oh, adventures I'm sorry, you probably already left before I got to this back to the chat, but, thanks for joining us, and I'm definitely tuning in Friday for your live, so I wanna watch your cemetery walk. Oh, there's oh, Nick Cave? Oh, here, maybe I need some does it sound like I'm saying cage now and not cave? There we go. Um, yeah, yeah, Dennis Hopper, he's just not been the same. I can't look at him the same, you can't break stuff in cemeteries, I don't like that. It almost kinda looks like she's, like, given I don't know. She is Italian. I'm shocked he didn't get cursed or something. Um, yeah, you'll pick on me, but picking on Omos is still too far. Whatever, you were just joking about it a second ago. Oh, well, maybe it'll be warmer in Alabama. I don't I don't know. Right. Tiff, I said hi, right, Tiff? Yeah, I said hi to you when you came in. Um, apparently he was a really wild man, Mia. Yeah, breaking up. I mean, just because the part says you have to be I think you're supposed to act, not, you don't have to actually be that, but I think both I can't remember who else was Dennis Hopper and if somebody knows who the other I can't think of who the other one was. I can see him in my, these are the graves on the Protestant side of the cemetery. So, I don't think most of these are there anymore because I think they've moved them because I did not see them this time. So, here's some more yeah, method acting, right, equal? Are you supposed to Um, yeah, you know what, Mia, that's what she needs. Somebody needs to print her, like, Luke Skywalker's hand and just put it on there, and that is probably the best idea heard, and the next time I go down there and I do the another tour, I'm gonna ask about Darlene, act, not be. But, so as you can I don't know, you can't probably really tell from the night photos to this, but, they have done quite a bit of restoration. These are about 10 years apart, I think, maybe 8 years, I can't remember right offhand, but and here's the baby grave again, which I told you guys I have a little bit of an attachment to this little one, like a Peter Fonda. Thank you, Anne. Yeah, they're cemetery defilers, those men. But this is the grave of the babies, or the children, and I get drawn to it every time I've gone there. The tour always seems to I think this is really near the entrance is probably why I always walk past it because they always take you past the entrance, so, which is also the exit. So, yeah. So every time I go, I always take a little photo. Like I said, I wish I would've thought of the little black heart thing a little sooner because I would have probably gone over there and left one, but, which a little black stone is better than leaving, like, metal, like a quarter or nickel or something like that. Because I don't know, I have questions about I know that we do that for on military graves, but I'm starting to wonder how good that would be for the headstones, and I don't wanna do any kind of damage to headstones. So, but I think what they said at like some of the cemeteries, what they'll periodically go to the headstones and like the military headstones where people have left change, they've left their little tokens, they take that and it is donated to, like, um, veteran organizations. At least the one Rosehill, that's what they said that they do. So, yeah, Darlene, like, the rust on I would not want, I would yeah, I would feel horrible because 'cause I'm about to start, I was gonna talk to you guys about that tonight too, was I'm about to start, it's that time of the year for tombs to start cleaning some headstones. And, yeah, I'll probably talk more about it Thursday night, and, I'll kind of explain to you guys what I do, but I have some military headstones that I want to get started on, because it might take a couple goes of the product, and I've talked about it before. It's called D2. It's a biological cleaner, so it does no harm to headstones whatsoever, and you just spray it on and you leave it, and you let it do you don't have to scrub anything, nothing. Just spray it on and you walk away, which is so much better for these stones because I see people cleaning them and scrubbing them, and I just oh, oh my gosh, mm, I'm gritting my teeth because I just see, like I see a hand falling off of a of something. That's just where my mind goes. Um, but that is what I wanna, so I'll probably talk about that Tuesday night, but while I'm gonna pop this down, I'm gonna throw up my, um I'm not putting that up here, Dean. Um, let's see, um, let's see, Darlene says, "I will have Tammy make a 3D and we will make it different colors." She could have a different color. Like, she could have a green hand for, St. Patty's and yeah, wouldn't it? Yeah, that rust, I swear. They have free 3 My my brother's a nerd. So, my brother, I'm a nerd too, but just for grades and stuff, but yeah, he's got a 3D printer, so he's done the helmets and Star Wars, all this stuff, and I always tease him, but I still think it's cool as hell because I like Star Wars too. Because that was the first movie I ever Return of the Jedi was, I think, one of the first movies I remember seeing. So, yeah, so I still love them, and it's the BBish, and, there is a really cool story with these children, so I'll probably talk about them at some point. They're sort of on my list. I have to space these baby stories and children's stories out because we don't all wanna be really depressed about it, so, at least I don't. Well, we're talking about dead people, so, um, they're not all gonna be happy stories, guys. What about getting her, equal? So what is a biologic cleaner? It sounds like etching. Oh, you're just kidding. Okay. Um, who don't biologic cleaner, it is attacking, like, the moss, the lichen, all those little things that grow on and in the crevices of the stone that cause the discoloration. And right now, I'm just talking about the military headstones. This is what they use at the the national cemeteries, so Arlington, all of those. This is what they use to clean military headstones there. It used to be wet and forget, but then D2 came out, and it's so good. I mean, really, all you just spray it and leave it. It's let it do the work, but it's expensive. So I'm pricing out some, like, I wanna get, like, a couple jugs of it because it's gonna take a little bit. Because I think I've got about I don't know, maybe I probably got about 40 or 50 headstones that all are in desperate need of some sprucing up. Some a lot worse than others. So, um, some might not need a whole lot, but, others might need a few coats. So, usually what I do, I go through, I'll spray, come back in a week, see what's happened. I do I will put together, like, a little I've done, some before and afters of headstones that I've cleaned in the past, so I'll put those up. I'll show those to you guys too. I mean, it's like difference between it's night and day sometimes with some of them, not a big change, but, especially the ones I've done with D2 though, those like I mean, it looks like they're brand new again. They look beautiful, so my nose is really itchy. My allergies are all stirred up, but it's a really good product. It doesn't do any damage to the stone, so no need to scrub, no need to pick at anything. Don't pick, just spray and go. Um, and no, no, Dina, I'm not putting that no, be good. Ooh, a crystal hand would be too. See, now we're all thinking, "Man, we gotta get Italia a new" we should just start sending different hands to the diocese and see if they'll so um, Equal says, "I was making glowing fairies with 3D pen until the fumes got me." Oh, no. Yeah, I wouldn't accidentally melted, um, some plastic on a one of the stove burners, and oh my god, I don't think I felt right for weeks. Yeah. Oh, good night, Anne. Thanks for stopping in. See ya later. I hope you liked it. My big pizza ovens. Let's see. I posted a hot young Dennis Hopper pic in Tomb's general chat. All right. Now we got something to look at. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna pop this down. Yeah, I just skipped past. I know I put that stupid no, well, it's not stupid, but I know I put it in here. I wonder if I just went past it too fast looking for Nick Cages or Nick Caves. I just didn't put it in. What is sometimes I don't know, guys. As I choke. Um, yeah, there's the baby graves and the little children grave. Um, what did I do? All right. Well, I'll get it on here for Thursday and I'll pop it up real quick because it's a really cool that one turned out really well because I could stand there for a few minutes. Yeah, because that was before I started getting in trouble. So I'm gonna boop, but I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna let this play because I don't have a whole lot side of it. No, come here. Oh wait, come here. There we go. Okay, where's okay. All right, here we go. I think that's as big as I can make it. All right. And I do have a little bit of information on St. Louis number 2. I wonder if Nick Cage is gonna haunt the cemetery after he gets buried here. That'd be an interesting ghost. Hmm. Anyway, all right. So just about I'm trying to think how many blocks. It's not too far down the road. I mean, it's kind of in that same neighborhood, St. Louis number 2. They just recently closed the gates. So only you have to contact the diocese if you want. If you have a like a family tomb, and you have to contact the diocese if you wanna get in there to, visit whatever you're gonna do, do, because it's currently, hopefully, getting some restoration done to it. Um, I tried to peek through the fences, so I apologize, these are not the best. This I just did some little short video clips. They're not the best. It's just all I could do. I was pretty sad because I really wanted to go I wanted to go live from here. This was one of the big ones that I wanted to see. I found out Lafayette number 1 was closed as well, also for restoration purposes, which, hey, I'm all for that. Like, let's take care of them, but, um, it's still disappointing. So, like, the 3 major old historic cemeteries, you can't even I mean, St. Louis, you could get in number 1 you could get into, but the other 2, there's just yeah, there's not even a tour going on for either of those right now. So, I was a little disappointed, but, it is what it is. So, so St. Louis number 2 is it opened in 1823, and I talked about all the epidemics that have gone through New Orleans back in the day. So we had yellow fever, cholera, I mean, everything. And I've already talked about how the doctors wanted to make sure the bodies got away. I don't think I need that. So this one is the land was consecrated in 1823. It's on Iberville Street, Bienville, Conti, and St. Louis Street. And the cemetery is divided into 3 squares, and there's a gate on each one. 1823, is that what I said? Wait, let's see, hang on. Once approved, the city, was consecrated for burials August of 1823. I have a wrong maybe I had a wrong date in here. No, 1823, yeah. So it's not nearly as old it's not as old as well, it's number 2, so it's not as old, but it's still pretty dang old. Um, let's see, and I think yeah, I mean, it's got about the same history, I'll tell you. Let's see, notable burials, um, there's Danny Barker, he's a legendary New Orleans jazz guitarist and banjo player. And Ernie Cadeau, and he was a R&B singer famous for the hit song "Mother-in-Law." If you've ever been to New Orleans, you might know the Mother-in-Law Lounge, which celebrates his legacy. I don't think I went to that when I was there. Um, and then another one is, André Caillou, and he was lived between 1825, 1863. He was an African American Union Army officer during the Civil War and a hero at the Battle of Port Hudson. And his bravery made him a symbol of African American military service during the Civil War. He was honored as a martyr and hero, and his burial here became an important moment in New Orleans history. Um, let's see. Do- All right, and that's it. That's all I got on it. So I'll just show you. Ernie, here's your name. I said that just for you too, Ernie. I picked that famous person, but, let's see. I'm gonna play this. I don't think I there's no sound to it. Um, really all there was because there's a major highway right next to it, so all you could really hear was that, and I'm just gonna play it, but this is through the fence, so, um oh, I should maybe change the alright, it is what it is. But it was this so Louis number 2 is set up a little bit better than St. Louis number 1, because as you can tell, I mean, you have a main street, and it's very obvious, and then you have all these little side, some of them are green, like lawn space, and then other ones are like little, paved walkways, but it's, yeah, it it looks I don't know, it looks pretty darn clean, so I'm not sure, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, and these are those the the oven the pizza ovens on the outside here, and this is me using the gimbal for the first time, so I'm sorry. Um, I was trying, and it was not cooperating with me, and don't say it was operator error. It was totally the gimbal's fault. And I did throw it a well, no, I didn't throw it away. I'm still gonna work on it. Um, yeah. There's one of these sections, there's a big old porta potty. Wasn't very thrilled about that, but yeah, like I said, I'm trying to figure out how to use the gimbal. I probably should have used it a little bit before, I went, but I did not. Um, Well, next time I go, Ernie, you can come with me. How about that? We can have a big family field trip. I was trying to zoom in, there's trash can I wasn't trying to zoom in on the trash cans, but there was this really cool angel with, like, 4 angels, like, on either corner around the center, and I was trying to zoom in on it. I couldn't get a good photo of it. I really liked it. It's so pretty. So, I was really disappointed. I wanted to get in here. I was kinda hoping to take you guys through it live, but, um, yeah, I think Mia said we could use her sky miles. I heard her. Yeah, I heard her say that. Yeah, you can kinda see that angel up there in the corner or up in the top, and, like, the angels all had their heads bowed. It was really pretty. Yeah, but we'll be in New Orleans, Ernie. We just walk everywhere. We don't even have to worry about that, but unless we wanna drive out to the cemetery and do shots or something, but I don't think we should. I don't but yeah, yeah, Tombs was really sad. Oh, this is I did get smart just before we left, before we walked away. I forgot that the gimbal has, like, selfie, and I got it all the way up, and then I hung it over the this big, tall brick wall. I should have done that, in a few other places, but, eh, I didn't. But hopefully the next time I go, this'll be opened again. There were several other people. Uh-oh. Emergency vet question. Spicy ate a bunch of birds, been sick all day, barf 3 uh-oh. Probably should go I would probably see if you can get him to the vet, um, see who's available to see him. You guys probably have an emergency vet there. He might need to how long has it been? Has it been, like, a few hours or, like, earlier today? So I would say if he eats a bunch of bird seed, it's to get him to vomit, and you can just give him a little hydrogen peroxide. But, I would probably take him in, especially if his belly looks bloated, he might actually have bloated. So, he might need a little help, but that's what I would do. No, poor little guy. Has he been so he is vomiting? Ugh. I to be on the safe side, Tiff, I would get him to the vet just to make sure he doesn't have it, like, a blockage or anything. Um, I don't wanna say without s you know what? Why don't you post let me see what he looks like in the Discord, but honestly, I think I would take him. Um, he's a little guy, right? So, especially those little dogs, I get a little nervous if they haven't eaten in a while, but I know he's a kind of a little chunk, isn't he? But, um oh, you don't have an emergency vet? Yeah. Definitely first thing in the morning, like, as soon as they open up, I would vomiting is probably good in this situation if he ate a lot of that bird seed. So yeah, it is good, and, this is a situation where vomit probably is helping him a little bit, but I just worry that he might be blocked up or something, which can happen, so, hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's gonna, be just fine, but I always err on the side of better judgment, especially if he's lethargic and, yeah, he's a little a little piggy. Um, I have a bigger dog, Paisley, eats first and then decides if it's consumable. So and she gets into a lot of, oh god, did find my, rabbit, not a living one, in my barn, like, just laying there today, and saw my cat out there yesterday, so I'm pretty Eloise got another bunny. She's horrible. Um, he's a pig. I hope he's okay. Just send a put a well, Tiff, you've got me. We're friends on Discord. Just send me a pic of him. Let me see what his belly looks like, and yeah. Um, but it's already 11 o'clock. Oh shoot, what time is it? But you're in California. I was like thinking, well, it's not too far. Um, let's see. Oh, Mia doesn't have Mia. You said you had Sky Miles. I remember this. I remember you saying that. Oh. Ooh. All right. Mia's paying for the hotel then. All right, we're good. Um, all right. Did he was it a lot of birdseed that he was getting out? He got a lot of it out. Yeah. He might just feel really gross too from having to having vomited all that stuff. Usually that's what happens if they eat like grains or anything like that. I've had dogs get into horse feed. Usually it comes like right back up. Chihuahuas will eat whatever they want, Ernie, because they're badass. You ain't gonna tell them what they can eat and what they cannot eat. Yeah, they're bad. They're bad little dogs. All right, guys. So that's all I have for tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. I love New Orleans. I hope everybody goes at some point, even if you don't wanna get hurricanes. At least check out the cemeteries because 'cause they're beautiful. Hopefully, this one will be number 2 will be open, and definitely go, do a night tour because it was unbelievable. It was so much fun. Um, except for getting yelled at. Well, not really yelled at, but, being told to keep up with the rest of the group. That's what I say to kids when I chaperone for my kids' stuff, right? It was like, "Can you keep up with that?" That was me. I was the one getting talked to. So, um oh, gross. Yeah. Mia's putting us all up at a Hilton. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, usually I have to stay at a Motel 6, so this is, like, a huge upgrade for me, Mia. I am so happy that you're doing this for us. Um, so my cat Eloise is only about 12 pounds, and this rabbit was as long as she was. I so grossed out. I had to pick it up by its little ugh. I know they're animals and they do that, and that's part of their whatever, but it's still gross. I love all little creatures. I don't I for a second, I thought somebody was, like, maybe trying to make a point, like, trying to tell me, like, "You're next," like, 'cause there's just a dead rabbit laying there, but I soon realized, I was like, no, Ellie was out here yesterday, I went out to, check the horses, and, yeah, she was out there looking shifty, so I know what she was up to, and she does that with she gets the baby bunnies too, and it makes me so sad. I mean, mm. What? How many designated we don't need that many designated drivers because 'cause we're not driving, guys. We're just walking. Yeah. You don't need designated drivers, but, you can be the designated tomb watcher, though, because I need somebody to watch me, like, 24/7 when we're in New Orleans. I need you to keep me from running off the trails when we go on tours, and then when I go down on Bourbon Street, I need somebody to reel me in because it gets dicey. It can. Poor bestie, I think she was getting tired of it by the end, but hey, it's a good time. All right. I know we've got 2 designated drivers, we've got Hilton points, I think we're pretty good. I yeah. Um, oh, Rubicon, right? Yeah. Ellie usually leaves them right on the front doorstep for me, like, on the welcome mat, which I think she's trying to say something, like, "You're not welcome." She's stone cold killer, I tell you what. Oh, yeah. Have you tried the what is that one? I can't do the little demon, the little chihuahua equal designated grandma. Yeah. You can keep tunes in order in line. All right. So on Tuesday, I'm gonna finish up with just a little I think I'm just gonna finish up with some of the stuff on Mechery Cemetery from New Orleans, and then I'll be done with New Orleans for, well, Bestie and I think, are gonna do Sunday night. We're gonna do the rest of the ghost stuff from, um why am I blanking on the frickin' place? Destran, from the plantation. So we're gonna finish that up Sunday night, and yeah, Thursday night, I'm going to finish up the big New Orleans cemetery, and then I think I'm gonna show you guys a few of the things that I found when I was in Chicago. Because 'cause they're I can't wait, like, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys to see these videos. I'm gonna keep popping out the shorts, giving you guys little teasers for them. It was amazing. Yeah, kid in a can like, Darlene said, a morbid kid in a morbid candy shop. It was absolutely beautiful. For those of you guys who weren't here right at the beginning, this is, an unexpected find, and I'm doing the research on it right now, and apparently there's a twin, sculpture just like it in Rome, I believe, Bestie said, so I'm gonna look into it and get you guys some information on the people, um and this is a little cemetery, like I said, that we just kinda drove in because we saw something in a glass case, and I was like, "Ooh, well, that's gotta be something special." So, we drove in there, and again, it was Wunder Cemetery, Wunder, and I think I said it was a Lutheran cemetery at one time. So and it's just next to Graceland, which is one of the big cemeteries. Yeah, and then this is Maddie May, this is from Rosehill, and then I have to show you guys the Francises. Can I say that? Yeah, Francises, um, which I've talked about before. It's the mom and the baby, and I got a little overcome, with that one. It's very touching. You almost kinda feel like, you're disturbing them, like you're walking up on, um, a mom and her baby taking a nap. That's what it looks like, and it was very touching, and it's more beautiful than I thought it would. Like, you see photos and you're like, "Oh, that's beautiful," but then you're there. It was the same for Maddie here, like, I've seen photos of her. I can't wait to show you guys the up close stuff, so I might just, because each one has a unique story, so I might just I'm gonna pull little segments off of them. Instead of trying to just do one whole thing and trying to squish them all together, I think I'm gonna kinda chop them up here a little bit so that I can give you a full story on some of these, especially Maddie here. So, trying to find out some more about her. I went down the genealogy rabbit hole, or the ancestry.com rabbit hole, so I came out just to do this stream. So, otherwise, that is it for tonight, guys. I am going to do I need to cleanse any I don't think we need a cleanse tonight. I think yeah, even with the voodoo, I think we stayed pretty safe, right? So, all right, thank you guys. I'm gonna pop up, I'm gonna throw all your Salamanca. Oh my goodness, that little dog. Yeah, do you have was it? Cilantro too, cilantro and lemon, right? Isn't that what you're supposed to bless the chihuahuas with? Yeah, I like it. Um, let's see, ghost kitties. God, we're all full of it tonight. All right, guys, I'm gonna close it up because I that storm is right, like it's coming right over the lake right now. So, and thank you, TF. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate it. I've missed you guys from all this week. And I will see you guys Thursday night, same time, same place, and I'll bring you some more cool stuff. So, all right, here we go. Bye bye. Well, maybe not. Hang on. Now I can say